For as long as I can remember, my family has gone every summer to Long Beach Island, a vacation spot located on the New Jersey coastline. When you come over the bridge to get onto the island, right off the bay there's a little shack. It has become a sort of welcome sign, letting people know they finally made it to the beach. Problem is, the shack has seen far better days as the years go by, so now it's just exciting every summer to see if the shack made it through another year. And much to the delight of tourists, it keeps on standing.
Getting tired of sleeping in this lonesome shack. I'm waiting for my baby, and she just got back. Lay awake at night and I just can't eat a bite. Used to be my rider, but she just won't treat me right. Getting tired of sleeping in this lonesome shack. I'm waiting for my baby, and she just got back.
I've always been curious to learn more about the shack, so I headed over to the marshes off the eastbound side of the Route 72 Causeway. While there, I met with Chet Atkins, who purchased the billboard next to the shack in 2009.
I had no idea about the shack, really. I've seen it before, but it was never anything that crossed my mind. And then we bought about 33 locations in this area, and the shack was one of them. You know, this is the shack billboard, actually. Everyone tells us that it's the landmark, that they get a sigh of relief. They're at the shore when they see the shack.
Over the years, many have come to love the ramshackle shack. For me, it's always been important because of the artwork of my grandfather. He was an artist his whole life, and one of his most well-known works was a watercolor painting of the shack. He created it in 1986, the year I was born, which would mean that it was also the year of my first trip to Long Beach Island. Tourists seem to be the most interested in the shack, as residents of the area have to drive by the withered building all the time. But Chet did explain that there were plenty of people living on the island that cared about saving the shack.
People have kept it. They've come in the middle of the night. They've come all different times to try to, keep it standing up. And I think that's a good thing because they're really falling down.
Curious to find out more about who had dedicated the time to help keep the shack standing, I headed over to the Maritime Museum to meet with one of the local residents who has been the driving force in preventing the landmark from collapsing. Some people described him as passionate, while others called him obsessed with saving the shack. Either way, it became clear that just like my interest, his was of a personal connection to the land as well.
Well, name's James Uhas. The truth of the matter is the reason that I am so interested in saving the shack. At first, my brother actually died over there. And then it was funny, when it started actually collapsing, it became personal. It was like, it was no longer like, didn't hurt. It was hurt. The fact that it was falling down meant that I was losing what was left of my brother. So I've tried to turn this negative thing into something positive. And so now I see it's turned into a cause. It's like I can't let it. I don't want to let it fall. So I went into it when it was, pretty much on its last legs. And if you noticed all the boards that are running every which way inside the shack, That's what I use to brace up the walls. That's the only reason it hasn't gone anywhere. And it's just that little thing has, look at all the major hurricanes. It was there through the '62 storm. It survived every storm since then, and some howlers, and there's nothing protecting it from any major winds that come passing through. It just takes the full brunt every time. Big, strong, sturdy buildings have been torn down, but that little thing just sits there.
I would say it's dangerous in here. There's a Christmas tree and there's a light set up. Yeah, I think Jimmy does the flags. He's into duct tape. Look at the old electric. Hi, Jimmy.
I thought it was funny because when everybody was complaining last year about I had it covered with flags, and then I also had, please help me, what are you waiting for? And it really upset everybody because it wasn't very picturesque at the time, but it did draw a lot of attention to it, so it worked.
Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home, I dare not go, or if I do, my mom will say, did you ever see a goose kissing a moose? Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow.
Yeah, we've gotten enough public outcry asking us if we were going to restore the shack. We are waiting for Army Corps of Engineers to give us a final go-ahead, and then we go to the DEP for a final go-ahead. Then we go to the town for a final approval. We're trying to do it the right way, the legal way. We have confidence that we're going to be able to rebuild this. It's just length of time, and like every day, some piece of it falls apart.
It's totally in Chet's hands, I mean, you could push the walls up, throw 4 pilings, and end the story. Then you can have years and years and years to discuss it. It's the visual aspect. It's saving history. It's defining that time. I just think it would be a shame to lose that forever, and it will be lost forever.
So it seems no one is quite sure what the outcome will be for the shack. As for me, I don't know if it should be restored, or if it should just be left to disappear into the wetlands. At its current condition, some might even say a Viking funeral would be best.
The untimely death of Chet Atkins.
And I went, how nice is that to have a picture? And then I went down over in the stores, and I saw some of the stores had the pictures of it.
Yeah, paintings. Yep.
Paintings.
Yep. His grandfather did one. He's doing a documentary about it.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's a story.
My grandfather passed away in 2009, but he lives on through his paintings. In fact, his original of the shack hangs in my parents' home and is a constant reminder to my family of his life, his love, and his art. The future of the shack is uncertain, but the tourists and the residents of Long Beach Island will always remain the storytellers of the iconic wooden structure. While the shack may eventually be lost forever, its history and its legacy will always live on, even if it's through a painting on a wall.